this is the last weekly inspection that you guys will see. So that is interesting. So the queen is still alive in here. She has one bee left. So I need to find a way of saving her. So we have a nuke that's absolutely full to the brim. So we're going to go through this stage by stage on how to transfer a nuke into a full-size hive. Hello everyone, it's Greg from Mystery Honey. Welcome to this week's weekly inspection. I'm talking a bit quieter than usual because I'm currently stood outside the front of quite a few people's houses while I get into my bee suit and stuff. The reason I'm doing it here is because it is threatening to rain. Something absolutely rotten. You can already see it spitting a bit. So the benefit of this, me van, is that the boot has a lovely umbrella for me to get changed into. You can see what absolute chaos the back of my van looks like now. Oh, here comes the rain. Still, I only get Sunday mornings to do my job, so I've got to do it in the rain if I have to. So what I will have to do is when it's hammering it down like this, I will have to wait for a little bit. So I may as well just get myself set up, tidy up the back of my van a bit. Nothing else to do. So today there's not a huge amount that is absolutely desperately needed to be done. Oh, of course, I forgot to bring socks. Great. So the guy who sold me those queens has been in touch asking how they've done. I've told him that I generally wait for 3 weeks, but just to placate him, what I might do is I might go into a couple just to see if the bees have accepted the queen by then. If not, it means that I need to look into requeening them again, or giving them some brood to requeen themselves, or just shake them out. That's another option. We'll have to see. I probably won't check all of them, just like one or two, but we'll have to see. Oh, right, the rain seems to be dying down now, so that's good. Other than that, generally it's just normal inspections. That's all I need to do. I need to check, make sure that there's no swarm cells. Check on those nukes, because when nukes have laying queen, they can fill up very fast. Like maybe in like 3 weeks, they can fill up. And after that nuke swarmed at the other apiary, I don't want that to happen again, especially because someone that is wanting these nukes. So I'm going to have to pay close attention to them and make sure that they're not going to be getting too big too fast. And it's starting to rain again, right? The smoke is going really well now, so I'm just going to close it before I smoke myself. Good enough. At the other apiary, they're pretty much okay. I've given them a lot of space. Colonies that were getting very big, I've given them 2 extra boxes, and there's not many more boxes I can give them really, because they have reached the limit of the ratchet strap and my reach. So if they get any bigger, what I might have to do is, depending on how much honey they've produced, I might have to do some splits on them, sort of break them down a little bit, and then have the 2 separate hives produce more honey, which is good really in a way, because it means I can make some more nukes. But I don't like doing that to big colonies. I like big colonies to stay big. But if they're filling up boxes where it's getting to the stage where I can't actually reach them anymore, it's definitely a stage of I either extract that honey, which I don't like to do. I like to do extractions once in the year. I like to do all spring and summer and everything like that at once. So I don't like to do extraction, or I can split them, create another colony, and then have 2 colonies working to produce more honey. That rain's really coming down. Hope it goes. So yeah, today I'm going to be spending most of my time dodging the rain. Might have a few bits of me inside my shed hiding for cover. I'm going to head in, and if it keeps raining, I think it's actually stopped now. Yes, it's stopped raining now, so I'm going to head in and we'll see what happens. Right, I'm inside the queen rearing apiary, and there's some things I've noticed. There's not many bees flying about. That's because it's raining. So when it rains, the bees like to hunker inside, and they generally just do other jobs. So if they're inside, they are now fanning the honey, making it thicker, getting rid of any water. They're maintaining temperature in there, although it is still very hot today. I know it's raining. It's definitely cooled off. It was like 35 degrees C. It was 46 degrees C next to the furnace where I was working during the day at work. So that was good. I got very swampy. But right now it's about 27, 28 degrees C. It's very humid, obviously, because it's raining. Fortunately, the canopy is stopping the rain from getting to me as much, so that's good. The other apiaries, I won't be so lucky. But it's interesting having a look at the entrances anyway, because there's bees over here where they are just sort of milling about. And then you've got bees like over there, which are bearding. If you see the bees hanging out the front like that, then your initial response is to panic, thinking that they're wanting to swarm, and you'll start doing splits and stuff like that. Don't need to, don't have to at all. They do this for a number of reasons. Now, bearding happens when there is a lot of humidity or heat inside the colony, and they're trying to get rid of that. They're trying to get rid of all the heat out of there. So what they do is they come outside the front and they flap their wings. There's also another reason for bearding, is that there's not enough space for them. So there's too many bees for the space that they've got. I believe that is it's too hot type of bearding, just because I can see them flapping the wings to try and get some airflow in there. The other hive over here, which we've taken a lot of brood from, that's bearding as well. I think that's to do with the space. I think a lot of the flying bees flew from the nukes that I made and flew into the entrance, and I took a box off, so that I don't think there's enough space in there for them. But we'll go through them in a second. All right, I'm going to stick my hood on and we'll go through some of the colonies, okay? So I think I should just check on the hives with the new queens, the angry hives, where put the new queens in first. I'm trying to make a decision which one to check first, because we've got a whole hive there, we've got a whole hive there, got this one down here, which had the queen in originally. I don't want to check that one actually, because I only released her later than the others. So I think I'll check one of the nukes that I made up. Let's have a look at that. So this is one of the nukes that I made up from the angry hive. I have no idea how they've done. They were quite low in numbers, but there's quite a lot of brood in there, so I'm hoping they expanded. There's bees still in here, so that's positive. Look at that, right there. That's the starting of a wasp nest, so that's interesting. Right, let's have a look. So there's bees active in here. Whether she's been accepted or not is a different matter. So we need to have a quick look. There's nectar, so they've still got food. This was one of the frames that had brood on it. I'm going to be very careful. I don't want to upset them, just in case they want to kill her. So the first protocol is to check the cage and see if there's any bees still in it. But while I'm doing that, I'm just going to keep having a look, make sure I can see the queen. It's very dark, so I can't even see if there's any eggs. So let's have a look, see what the success is, if there is any. So the queen hasn't been released. She's still here inside the cage. So that is annoying. But they've eaten all the fondant and they can reach her. But she hasn't exited yet. Why is that the case? Right, she's literally just left and she's gone back in the cage. Why is she going back in and out of the cage? I've never had this before. This is bizarre. So as you can see, the bees are there. The cage doors are wide open. You just saw the queen peek then. The bees are getting to her. But there she is, right in the centre, walking about. And she's able to get out, because there she is. And she's in. But she was just walking around inside the cage. But it looks like the bees have accepted her anyway. So shake them out with this. Are they trying to sting her, or are they cleaning her? He's grabbed her leg. Knock it off. So I think this might be a failed introduction. I don't know where she's gone now. So she's gone over here now, and I'm just watching what the bees are doing. That bee's definitely following her. I don't know. I don't know if this is a successful introduction or not. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like a successful introduction. I don't understand why the queen hadn't escaped the cage, first of all. Let's give her some of these bees here. I've never seen that before, so that's interesting. I'll have to give that a bit of a research. And I don't know what the bees are doing. So it looked like that one was trying to grab her leg. Now, when a queen is released, they may be a bit tentative. It didn't automatically ball, so they didn't automatically go all over her and try and sting her and stuff like that. But that one was following her and grabbing her leg. So I wonder if it was just investigating her or not. I'll have to leave that now. I don't want to cause too much trouble. So more stress I produce, the more likely the bees are going to reject her. So I'm a bit curious about that. I don't know why she hasn't exited the cage, because she was completely open. It was completely empty. She could definitely fit. She came out, had a look around, and then she went back in again. That's an AMM going into an AMM hive as well. So if I can remember which one was a buckfast, that'd be useful because there's less likelihood that they'd make it. So we'll have to have a look. So I think it's this one in the middle that had the other queen in. These are recent grafts, so let's have a look. Right, so there are absolutely naff all bees in here from what I can see. No idea what's happened here. I think they might have just dwindled. The queen is still alive though. So that is interesting. So the queen is still alive in here. She has one bee left. So I need to find a way of saving her. Yeah, right, okay, let's fix that. So it is crazy that this queen is still alive. Right there. You can still see her walking about. She's still alive. The rest of her worker bees, apart from one, has died, and there's still fondant there. It looks like the bees tried to get to her, but they must have dwindled beforehand. I gave them so much like brood and stuff, unless they just went like next door to one that already has a queen. I don't know. Right, so I need to save her. This is job number one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some brood from this colony here. It was originally from that I requeened, but I've been using her as a way of producing brood for nukes and stuff like that. So I'm going to make a nuke up out of her hive, and then I'm going to shake bees from a different hive. Probably that one over there, or one that has a queen excluder on, so I don't have to worry about taking the queen with me. And then I'm going to stick her inside. So I've got this nuke, food in it, and some empty frames. There's no bees in here though, so that generally means that I don't think they were attacked. Let's fill this up with brood. I want to give this queen a good chance. So we'll give her an empty box, an empty frame there, and we'll give her 3 frames of brood, and we'll take it from this colony here. And I'm going to absolutely fill this nuke to the brim. This colony is going to be so full of bees from there. I cannot believe that queen is still alive. Good on her. This might just be honey. We'll see. Might have to go into the main body. Yes, that just looks like honey to me. Encourage bees into this box by putting a frame of honey in. Have a quick look, see if there's any brood in here. I might have to go into the main body. If I do, then I do. Never mind. Definitely eggs on here, so the queen is still present. But that is eggs, not brood. Well, there's brood, but yeah. Not capped brood, which is what I want. We've got some capped brood and some larvae here. We don't want to give them that. We want full capped brood if we can, please. Put my order in. I think these are probably going to be food as well. That's a drone brood frame. Oh, and the queen's right there, walking about. There's the queen. Let's put her back in. So actually, now I know where the queen is, what I can do is take that box off, and I can actually use the bees from this box if I wanted to, but it's not looking particularly strong, to be honest, so I don't really want to do that unless I have to. So, move you over here. Let's see how she's looking underneath. Box below. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seams. Okay, so she's not that strong, so I don't want to steal bees off from her. I will steal bees from the other one. That's better. That's a better frame. It's got a bit more cap brood in, but still a lot of larvae. I'm wanting a full frame or 2 full frames. That would be better. What I might have to do is I might have to go and pilfer brood from other hives, lots of different hives. That's a good patch of cap brood there, but this one, it's not very good on this side. Right, that's much better. Much, much better. Right, shake the bees off. That's 1 frame of brood. Let's have a look, see if I can continue. Now remember, when you're stealing brood, that's another good frame of cap brood actually. When you're stealing cap brood, you are diminishing that colony that it's from, because each frame of brood is supposed to replace dying bees that are getting too old. So when you're doing that, you are diminishing quite ridiculously. And it's about 3 seams of bees that are being filled by 1 frame of cap brood. So try not to take too much from one hive. I'll take 2 from this and I'll have a look in a different one, because I don't want to, as I say, take the mick. So I think we can just about save this queen, which is good. Okay, right, let's put this queen back. Lid on. That's fine. Find another frame of brood from someone else. Right, Queenie, I'm just going to give him a bit so you're nice and warm. If you hear any buzzing, it's her. So this colony I stole so many bees from. Let's have a quick look in here. What do you guys like? Yeah, you're fine. I stole so many bees from this colony at the beginning of the year when I made my first round of grafts. So I've kind of just left them to it for God knows how long. So this is either going to be really good to come in and see it full of bees, or something's gone terribly wrong. We'll have to see. Okay, so there's plenty of bees there. That's good. That's what we want to see. Okay. So I'm going to go down now. I'm going to try and find some brood in here. Now there's no queen excluder, so the queen could literally be anywhere. That's how I like to run my queen rearing colonies, because it means that the queen has loads of space to produce as much brood as she wants. I need my smoker, back in a sec. Try and stem that alarm pheromone before it has time to set off. Oh, this is a very heavy box. Oh. Now the bees aren't filling that whole box, but it is full of honey. And it's very warm coming out of there, so that's good. There's a super. So these guys are really good at making propolis. This is not a full, I don't know if you can see through that. So it's not fully covered in bees, but they are working it. So the bees that are here are using the space. And there is plenty of space to go as well. I'll take this box off as well while we're at it. Oh, that's very heavy on one side. It's very unevenly balanced. Oh, hang on. I think I could see some brood then. Yes, I think we've got some capped brood. Not a lot of capped brood and some eggs on here. So, yes, there's lots of eggs on this frame. So I don't want to be using this. So you want the bees, when you make a nuke, to feel like they are hopelessly queenless. Because if they are hopelessly queenless, then it means that they will just accept any queen that they can. There's a lot of necks are falling out of that frame. Right, there's a bit of capped brood on this one. Lots of larvae though. Yeah, can't give them that one. Now the next one looks absolutely perfect. Look at that. Wall-to-wall brood on that side. The other side is nectar with a bit of capped brood. So I'm just going to shake the bees off this frame. Yes, that's brilliant. That I'm going to give that to the nuke. So they have three frames of capped brood now. So that is a lot of nurse bees that are going to be able to tend to that queen. Right, I'm going to put this in and build it back up because we're going to steal our bees from that hive over there. I've seen eggs, so I know the queen's in here. Just have a quick look in this box here for any queen cells or anything. I don't think there will be any queen cells. That's another great frame of capped brood there. It's all emerging as well, so that's good. Yeah, so this colony is coming back. They've got plenty of space. I'm not seeing any queen cells. The larvae looks pearly white, segmented and C-shaped. The cells of the capped frames look good. Yeah, these guys are alright. I'm going to leave these alone. As I said, they're not filling the boxes, so I don't need to worry about them. So that's good. So I have no idea how the original queen is doing, or has done. The fact that she's been released, but she hasn't gone out into the box and started laying properly, has thrown me a bit. I've not seen that before. Usually she's been released and she's out and laying like crazy, or she's been killed off. That was like a weird in between, so I'll have to see how that goes. But we've got a full box of brood there, and we're going to save this queen right over there now. So even though I've got a queen excluder here, so the queen is down here, I am going to check on her today. It's always best to choose the bees that are furthest away from the entrance, because it's the flying bees at the forages that will be flying back here. Once you've taken them and thrown them into a nuke, the flying bees will fly back. So you want to choose where the nurse bees will be. Now, the majority of nurse bees will be in here because there's no brood in these boxes, but I'm still going to use these boxes and shake these. If I can find the queen, then that'd be useful, because I could then shake bees from the bottom box. So that's where I'm going first. I'm just going to check on the queen, make sure she's okay. The bees won't be happy because it is raining, so I'm just going to smoke in a little bit. Right, so what I will do is I'll give this box back to the queen, just because it's virtually empty now. Right, so when you use a queen excluder, you will find that drones can't get through. So you may end up with massive bees like this. These are all drones that have not been able to fit through the queen excluder. They were all in brood frames over here. So because they can't get down, they've just got stuck here and they have died. The bees kind of get annoyed with them getting in the way, so they kill them off. So it's a shame, but it means that the queen stays down there, and now all these frames in here have no brooding, so that's good. If they've got the brooding, it means that they will just be purely honey framed, which is great for when it comes to extracting. Right, I'm going to tap these out. Just let the dead bees fall out. And then tap to get the living ones off. The reason we tap is because the queen could be on here. Right, so investigate what's going on in this box. So last time I was in here, the queen had only laid up 2 frames. Now it's been about a week or so since then. So I'll have a quick look. So that is got loads of nectar, it's got loads of eggs on it as well. So the queen is still present, so that's good. Now, the difference with this box compared to other boxes is that the entrance, well, there's 2 entrances, one on each side. So it means that the flying bees will have 2 different places where they will be able to come up from and get annoyed with. Now, this is full of nectar. So this is probably going to start annoying the queen if she can't get up to lay somewhere else. Especially if the foragers are just planting the nectar here instead of taking it up top. That's another full nectar frame. So this queen is getting honey bound, so that's not good. That could start off the swarming response, which is not what you want from a colony. So these bees are flying everywhere. I hope you're not getting buzzed. Right, there's lots of eggs and lots of larvae on here. That's good. Not many frames free for the queen though. Lots of pollen here as well. Loads of cat brood there, that's good. I'm just keeping an eye out for her, because if I can see her, I can throw these bees in the nuke. And these will predominantly be the nurse bees. Nurse bees hang around where the larvae are. If I don't see it, it's not the end of the world. I can still use those boxes there. Won't be as many nurse bees in, but that just means that you throw as many as you can in. That's a really good frame of cat brood. I can't see the queen yet. So they're right all over my hands, right in between my fingers, which is never good. If they're in between your fingers, you closing your hand very slightly could cause them to panic, and then they sting between the fingers, and that really does hurt very much. And if it does swell, it doesn't swell so much anymore for me, but if it does swell, it makes it very awkward to close your hand and stuff like that. So if they are between your fingers, take your hand away very gently and just wait to get bored eventually. Right, still trying to find that queen. That's a full frame of capped brood there. That is incredible. It's very unlikely that she'll be on a frame of capped brood, but never say never with a bee. They listen to you and they go, I'm going to prove him wrong. This queen is laying quite well. I will give her some more space to lay, just because the bees are filling up her space with nectar like idiots. This has eggs on it, so this is more likely to where she'll be. Just fresh eggs on this one. Here's hoping the queenie is on here. Fresh eggs. Yes! So queenie is here. I just saw her disappear around this corner. Where are you, queenie? There she is. So Queenie's walking about right there, so we know where she is. So I'm going to stick her over here, and I'm going to just cage her very quick. Oh, I've not got my bloody cage. Crap. Right, so I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Ugh. I absolutely hate picking up queens with my fingers. I've done it too many times where I've squished her by accident. But we've got the queen here. So what we can do now is use all the bees that are in this bottom box, which are more predominantly nurse bees because of all the larvae and eggs, to fill this nuke up. So we're going to do that very quickly. And then we're going to give them this queen. What I might do is, because this queen is literally filled in a box full of dead bodies, which can't be healthy, I'm going to try and remove those dead bodies without releasing the queen. Right, so queen is in there. Stay. Let's shake these bees in here. There will be a large mix of flying bees as well, just because it is the bottom box and that's where the flying bees like to hang out. But always throw frames with larvae on into nukes, because that is where nurse bees are going to be hanging. I might get stung here. So that's a full box of bees going in there. Oh, come on, you bucket. Oh. Right. Full box. In. Perfect. Right, so let's put you in here. Oh, hang on, you're brood, aren't you? So let's move back to where you were. Okay. There. Right. You may have been manhandled by me, Queenie, and may have lost some of your bees, but I'm going to give you some more space, so don't get too angry. Plug it there. Seat that as we need it. What's up? There we go. Right. So I'm going to release Queenie back into the top box now. Where are you? There you are. Just somewhere. There she is, and down she goes. Right, close this up so she can't get out. Sorted. Right, pile these boxes back up now. And we've got our nuke ready for the new queen. That nuke is now full of bees. It's got 3 frames of cat brood, so it's pretty solid. So this queen is going to get a good advantage now. Ooh, I'm going to smoke these guys down just for a minute. And just put a lid on so they can just see the new surroundings. Because we've got some jobs we need to do with this queen before we can release her. Right, so as you can see, got rid of all the dead bees. Queenie's still in there. There's one little worker. Filled it with fondant, and I couldn't find my tape, so I've got a leaf there. Hopefully that'll give them a bit more time. Let's open them up, put these in, see what happens. So the cat brood was right here. So I'm going to put these in here. So. There we go. So she's in now, and I'm going to give her another, let's give her 2 weeks. And see what happens after 2 weeks. So that's 2 out of 2 with issues. So let's see what's going on with this one. Hopefully these guys have accepted them. Now these guys didn't have any nurse bees. These were all flying bees. So if she's been accepted with these guys, then I will be amazed. These guys are also very stingy, so I am going to be using my smoke quite a bit. Not quite sure why it's so stuck down. Oh, there we go. Stingy bees. Stingy bees. Stingy bees everywhere. I have to get my big gloves for these guys. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to mess around. Right, so the annoying thing is that they got stuck to the queen excluder. And when they got stuck to the queen excluder, when I pulled it off, it just jolted everything. So all these bees are now up and angry, which is good. Nothing I like more than angry bees. Right, so what we need to do now is check to see if that queen is alive and well. Judging from how angry these guys are, I don't think she will be. Good news is though, pulled that out by accident and there's no queen in there. So, she's been released. She's not hanging around like the other one. Okay. Oh god. I do not expect these guys to have let that queen out. Okay, let's do this. Hang on. I can see eggs. I can see larvae. Oh, may have a success here, guys. We'll have to see. These bees are angry, but they will remain angry for God knows how long now. I have to wait for this queen's brood to emerge. We have some cat brood. Not a great pattern, but she's new and she's probably been battered. So the positives is that she's been released and she has been laying. Another positive is that there's no queen cells. If there's queen cells, it means that she's been trying to they're trying to replace her. Okay. Okay, we've got quite a bit of cat brood there. The pattern is not great. She might just be getting back into the swings of things because she had been caged for quite a while. So I just need to give her time. But the larvae looks healthy enough. Pearly white, segmented, C-shaped. But yeah, these bees are grumpy. So what I'm going to do is, I'll check one more frame, see if I can see her. I always like to see the queen happy and healthy walking about. But if I can't see her, no worries. I know she's been released. I know that she's laying. I know that they've got no queen cells, so they've accepted it. In fact, I take it back. That's a really good frame brood there. Okay. So once you've got a queen that's been accepted, it takes a while. So it'll take maybe 3 weeks, maybe a whole month and a half, for those angry bees to slowly disappear. And for hopefully the calm ones that you've got with the new queen, so that's the whole point of having a new queen, hopefully they will calm. You guys genuinely can't see anything, can you? I want to smoke you. Hopefully she will produce some lovely bees soon. I do not like this colony. Oh my god. Let's put this on and hope for the best. Well, the queen's in there now. She's happily laying away. Let's hope that she stays there for a long time. But let's close these guys up. So that's one success anyway, and she's making some lovely cat brood. Brilliant. Oh my god, these guys are horrible. So because I've upset all those angry bees, they are now all over me and all over you. I might have to leave it at this apiary and go to one of the other apiaries because if I go opening this one, which has the other queen that I can check on, because these are so angry, they might set these guys off as well, and I don't want to do that. So everyone else though seems to be relatively okay. I'll check them next week. I think we've done a good job of saving that one over there. I think that she'll come out okay, but we'll have to see. There were particularly nice bees that I turned into that nuke, so we'll have to just see. As for the other nukes, I don't know what to do about this one. No idea. She's been released now anyway. I'll see what's happened next week. I'll go in and see if there's eggs. If there's no eggs, then my guess is that she's died, they've killed her, and I'll just have to shake those bees out. And that's a shame. That's a waste of money, but most of all, it's a waste of life. But that's just what happens with beekeeping. Sometimes the bees decide that they want to get rid of the queen, and there's nothing you can do about it. They had no brood, they had nothing. Maybe it's just the fact that the queen is just a bit nervous. I'm not sure, but yeah. Right, let's go to the other apiary and get rid of these horrible bees. Turned into a bit of a jungle here. Definitely needs to come here with a strimmer. Right, so this is my quarantine apiary. That over there is Hive Laura, lovely. This is a split of hers. There's a nuke behind me, which is a split which I think I'm going to have to put into a full-size hive today. And that there is a swarm that arrived at my house, which I wasn't wanting particularly, but it's arrived. So main aims for this apiary are to make sure that Laura's got enough space. She should do. Check that this has got enough space. It may need another box. Put the nuke into a full-size hive, and to check that for any disease. So because it's going to be a disease check at the end, that is why it's going to be at the end. I'm going to do everything else I want to do first, and then if that's got a disease in it, it means that I can take this stuff home and sterilise it. I also want to check for eggs and other brood and stuff like that. I want to make sure that that's healthy. There does seem to be bees flying in and out of the entrance of it, so that's good. This was the apiary that got hit by chronic bee paralysis virus, so I'm always really cautious with this apiary. I always check the floors before I go into the hives, which you should always be doing anyway, but this place, because it's so grassy, I'm going to be like kicking grass to the side just to make sure. So let's get into it and see what's going on. So I'm just going to have a quick check of the floor. I put paving slabs here last time just to make sure that it didn't get taken over by soil and stuff, but there's no dead bees in front of the entrance. That's a good sign. So if you see dead bees at the front of the entrance, that is a sign of something going wrong. Either pesticides or chronic bee or something else. Right, we'll go through this first. We'll put the nuke into a full-size hive next. We'll do Laura because she's quite busy and I may get swamped by bees, and then we'll check disease. So this box isn't full of bees. There's quite a lot of bees coming to the entrance. Now these are Laura bees, so they may fly up, investigate, but then they'll fly off again. For the most part, they don't sting. So yeah, as you can see, they're not really bothering my hand. I'm going like that. They are flying around because I've just made a load of noise by pulling off the propellized roof, but they aren't really bothering me too much, so that's fine. Now I put 2 supers on top of these guys thinking, right, I don't need to worry about them. So from the looks of it, I don't. It looks like they've got 2 frames here at least that aren't being touched, and it's quite light. So we'll have a look at the other box. Same again. So this looks a lot more full. So this looks like it's got some frames of honey in it. Ugh. Lugs. Yeah. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so yeah, that's full of honey. I've noticed that the landowner here has just planted some, what I think is borage. I'm not sure, it's bright purple. It might be something else. Right, there's eggs here, so I've already seen that there's a queen in. Need to check the larvae, make sure that's pearly white and lovely. The bees look healthy, they're flying around okay, there's no juddering or anything like that, so that's good. No one's looking slimy. Keep here. Alright, so I'm just going to give them a bit of smoke. As I said, they weren't bothering me, but I just want to make sure that I'm not causing them undue stress. So this bottom box isn't full. There's bees on each seam, but they aren't filling each seam. So this box isn't full. So that means that there's plenty of space for these guys. So that is a frame with honey on it. A full frame of honey. It's not capped yet, but it's virtually there. I can feel it in the weight. So now that I've started cracking into the actual main body, you can see that the bees are now flying out. So these are the foragers I was on about. You can see them at the entrance flying in. So they're flying out, checking me out and going back. So don't be too scared if they do this. Full of honey as well. So this queen is starting to get a bit squeezed. She's brand new, so she should be bossing these bees about by now. Should be laying up like a champ. As I said, we've got 4 frames in, and she's not put any brood out yet, so she's a bit slow laying. It's not good. Let's have a look. So we've got lots of space on this frame, and there's no eggs in it. Don't know what's going on there. Right, we've got some larvae here and some eggs. Okay, so she's got to this frame now. Might even see her. So queens can get a bit slow. Sometimes it can take a while for them to get revved up. Don't worry too much. As long as it's healthy brood, that's all that matters. So I've seen some eggs. I've seen some larvae, but there's like 2 larvae. It's nothing to shout home about. Quick look. So we've got some cat brood here as well. Lots of pollen. So we've got lots of food. Let's have a look at the cells. So the larvae are lovely and pearly white, C-shaped. segmented. Cappings are lovely and biscuit coloured. Not a great pattern. Not the worst. She might have been waiting for bees to move the nectar out of the way. We'll look at the next frame. Well, so far, it's looking good. I can probably stop after this frame. Loads of eggs and the larvae. So the larvae is looking really healthy. It's looking really good, actually. And it's looking like fresh comb as well, which is lovely. Love it when it's lovely and yellow. When it starts getting a bit dark, I start to dislike that a bit. Yeah, loads of larvae on here. It's doing okay. Not much capped brood. So not as much capped brood as I was expecting. And I was hoping that they'd take the nectar up to the boxes above, but yeah. There's some capped brood. What looks like a queen cell, which is full of honey, which is practical jokers, these bees. Can't see the queen. Well, I think this colony is pretty healthy, it's fine. The queen's nothing to shout about at the moment. She's only been laying for the past few weeks though, so it's not too bad. I reckon we'll get a super out of her. Oh, lovely frame of cap brood, look at that. Oof. They'll be filling this box pretty fast, I'd say. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. Right. Close up. She's doing well. I don't know where she is, but she's doing well. I've seen eggs and that's all that matters. I've seen all the larvae, looks healthy. Seen all the cap brood, looks healthy. Good, I'm happy with that. And they definitely don't need space. They've got 2 boxes that they aren't filling. They've started putting some nectar in this one. You can tell because the comb is looking stark white. So if you look at the edge of the comb there, first of all there's honey in it, but when you're looking down you'll see that the stark white comb, that means that the bees are starting to work on it. And as an example of bees not working on it, hang on, let's get this out. You can see that the comb is a bit darker. So when you look down in your box you can see which frames are being worked on, because you'll see a lot lighter comb and a lot darker comb. In fact, so I was talking about it from a distance, but I may as well just show you like this. So if you look, white comb here, and it starts going darker where they're not working on it, and as you can see they're not working on these frames here. But they are working on these ones because they're a bit whiter. There you are. Hopefully that clarified it anyway. Right, put this lid on. Oh, close these up, they're doing well, they don't need another box, they're fine. Happy and healthy, that's what I want. Hey, so here's the nuke. Right. This is also a split from Laura. They are bearding, so it looks to me like they are either running out of space or it's very warm in the nuke for them. So we'll have a look. Last time I came was only last week, I think, and they were starting to get a bit full then. But the queen had only just got mated, so yeah. So these guys definitely need moving. You can tell just from the stack of bees, just in the feeder alone. Yeah, they're making comb in the feeder, so these guys definitely need to be moved out. So there's a floor and entrance there. Let's shift that across and let's do this. I'm just going to flatten out the grass a little bit so it's a bit easier to see what's going on. So we have a nuke that's absolutely full to the brim. So we're going to go through this stage by stage on how to transfer a nuke into a full-size hive. So if you were to get a nuke from me or from some other nuke seller, you should get bees that are like this, where they are absolutely heaving, as you can see, filling every single seam. It looks like they have run out of space, because they have. Now, I may have an issue with this one in the sense that it could actually be swarming if I've waited too long. I've only left them a week since the queen got mated, but it looks like these guys are already fit to burst. So what I'm going to do is go through the process. So the orientation. So you want to make sure that the entrance is in the exact same space. Now this entrance is facing that way. So I'm going to move this out the way, whoop, like that. And we're going to get the floor of the new hive and put it in the exact same space, facing the exact same direction. So there it is. It's always good to keep the nuke in the exact same sort of situation as it was before, so you know whereabouts the entrance should be. So there's where the entrance is, and the bees will now orientate to that as their home. It's also easier at this point to just make sure if you've got any straps that are in place, to get them around the base now before it's a heavy box. Okay, so there you are, that's there. The other strap, where's that gone now? The strap is here. So once this box, once this colony has been made, I can put the box on, stuff like that, and zip it up with the same ratchet strap. Right, so first box. So orientation of your hive. You don't have to keep your frames in the same orientation as the nuke. Don't worry about that whatsoever. What you need to do is decide which way is best for you. So this is the only positive of the national frames. So you can choose to go from this side or this side like that. Now I'm going to go like that just because it's easier for me where I am to inspect my hives like that instead of like that. Okay, so that's why I'm putting it out like this. You don't have to worry about that. Whatever is best for you. If you like to go to the side of the hive, that's fine. Put it like that. Put it the cool way. This is the cool way because supposedly can vent straight through, and this is the warm way because supposedly the air gets stopped by the frames. It's all nonsense, especially if you've got a vented floor, because air will do what it wants and the bees will move the air wherever they want it. So don't worry about it, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out 7 to 8 frames. What I'm going to do is carefully peel crown board off, and any bees that are in there, shake them in. Shake them in. This is a new home. They don't have to stay attached to this anymore. So let's move this out of the way. And as for the frames, we're going to try and keep them in the same orientation. So it's going to be interesting this way. So I'm going to be picking up and turning them that way, like that. So I'm going to start in the middle because less chance if the queen is on here that I'm going to roll her out of the box. And I want to keep this nuke as close to the hive as possible. So if any bees fall, they're either falling in the nuke or they're falling into the hive, like that. So where's my hive tool now? So let's lift this up. So have a look down the seams and try and find a frame that isn't like expanded. Because sometimes the nukes, when they've been left too long, they can expand the wax sideways to fit more nectar in and create more honey. Unfortunately, it means that it creates places where the bees might get pinched when you drag up the frame. So slowly drag it up. You don't want anyone getting hurt, especially if the queen hasn't been found yet. So there's a lovely frame of cat brood there, but it is nectar bound. So I'm going to stick that in the middle. Let's have a quick look for the queen. Don't have to find her, but it is good to see her, because if you see that she's in the hive, then you don't have to worry anymore. I can't see her, so I'm just going to put this down gently. So that was a centre frame. So I'm going to move that there. So let's do the one next to it. And now it's just a matter of just putting them in bit by bit. Try and keep the same orientation. Quick look for the queen. Can't see her. And pop her in. Now, you don't have to worry too much about finding the queen. As long as every single bee from this box here is in this box here, the queen should have been moved across. Ugh. Okay. Again, oh, the queen is there. So you can't see her now because she's moved, but she's there. So the queen is there with the white dot on her back. So I now know that the queen is in here. So like that, like that. There we go. So because I know where the queen is, I don't have to worry too much about leaving too many people behind if there are some bees that are refusing to come out. The queen is in there, so she's happy. She has got her new hive. So lift this up. Ugh. So sometimes in nukes, they give them a bit too much space at the bottom for the frames, so they create this stuff here. It's a bit annoying, so this burr comb, just shake it off. Shake the bees off and move on. What I want to be paying attention to as well is to make sure there's no queen cells, because these guys have been kind of crunched up a bit and run out of space. Like they are laying larvae in between the cells of honey, because these guys are so full of nectar. So what I need to do is be very careful that there's no queen cells. Because what you could do is you could transfer them into the hive, and then they could swarm, which will just be a waste of things. So right, I finished one side of the nuke, so I'm going to push all these guys across. Remember to blow. If bees don't get out of the way, just use your breath. You don't have to use smoke for everything. You can use your breath. Especially if you've just brushed your teeth and you've got minty breath, that seems to work best for me, I found. Or if you've got terrible breath, say you've been drinking coffee all day, that also works. Alright, so that looks like another great frame of brood intermingled with nectar. So these guys are fit to bursting, really. They've had to make their own comb at the bottom because they didn't have enough space. So I'm going to put these guys in. Looking really healthy, looking really good. What I might end up having to do, just to make them feel a bit more space, is I might put a frame of foundation in between the outside frames. That'll just get them drawing those frames out faster and give them more space, especially the queen more space to lay. Try not to break open the brood area too much. Wow, look at that. That's a Laura queen. Look at that. Wow. So this one went out and got mated a lot earlier than the other one. So this queen, I found her first, and then I found her afterwards. So I'm not surprised that this has some more impressive brood, but that was a really good frame. I am genuinely impressed with that one. Right, so I'm just going to put, there's only space for one more frame in here, so I'm just going to put it in between two of these frames here. Just give the queen a bit more space. And the bees should draw this out pretty fast. So these guys have got a lot of space now, got pretty much double the space that they had, which is good. I'm not going to put a super on right now. I'm going to wait for them to draw these frames out, because what they can do sometimes is just draw upwards above the brood area, and it takes them a bit while to draw outwards. So it's always good if you're using fresh foundation to wait for them to draw out the frames of foundation on the outside. Sometimes they get to here and you want to put another box on because they are genuinely going to start swarming because they run out of space everywhere else. All you need to do is the outside frames, move them more inwards so they draw them out, and then you can put a box on. Bees hate foundation next to frames of brood. So if they're not touching the very outer edges of these two, move them towards some brood, have them so they're facing the brood, and the bees will draw them out in minutes. I'll say minutes, probably a few days, but still. Right, now what about the bees on the inside here? We've got a lot of them. A lot in there and a lot in here. So it's really easy. You just tap them out. So I'm going to smoke these bees down here so they don't get squashed by the box. It doesn't help that the wind is blowing all the smoke away, so I have to angle the smoke away from the bees. Right, so there's less bees there now to get squashed. So I'm going to hammer these guys home. So it's really easy. Don't hit it as hard as you can. Just sort of lift it upside down above the box and then just do a little pat, like bump. If you want, you can do it by each edge. So say there's loads of bees on the edge still. So see how there's loads of bees on the edge there? So find the corner and tap it out on each corner. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. And there you go. The majority of the bees have gone now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush these ones in. Don't need to. They'll walk around wondering where everyone's gone. They'll fly out and then they'll fly back to the original hive spot, which is here. So you don't have to worry about that too much. But there we are. That nuke is now in a full-size hive. Now sometimes jiggery pokery happens, so it's good to just realign everything, make sure everything's happy. Put the crown board on top. Oop, watch out. Try and be careful not to squish anyone. And then put the roof on. There we are. So that is now a fresh hive from a nuke. Really easy, as you can see, no problem whatsoever. I saw the queen, which is good. You don't have to see her. If you don't see her when you're doing this, just check through the frames after, say, like 3 or 4 days and see if there's any eggs. If there's no eggs in the colony, it means that you may have lost the queen somewhere amongst the grass or something along those lines. But I saw her, she's in there. I know that she's happy, I know that she's safe. She's a good queen. We saw the brood there, that was decent. Yeah, so let's put this on, as you can see. Ratchet strap there. The grass keeps trying to steal my ratchet straps. Knocked off. God, this place needs trim. Okay, and then we're just going to ratchet it, nice and easy. Right, this is Laura, and I am running desperately out of time, so I need to be very quick with her. So when you're doing hives like this, as you can see, the entrance is here. So if I stand here, I'm going to get swamped by bees. So I'm going to have to do the inspections from the side. This is one of the reasons when you're deciding where to place hives, really think about where you want the orientation to be. Because if I stand there, I'm going to get swamped. So let's have a look, see what's going on under here. So there are a stack of bees in this top box. That is a sign that these guys are possibly are running out of space, which is crazy because I put a load of fresh boxes on. So this was a fresh box on the 18th of June. So what's the date today? Today is the 28th of June. So this has been 10 days. So let's have a look and see what this looks like. So in 10 days they have, let's have a look, oh come on, drawn this out and filled it with honey. My God, that's full of honey, wow. That's 10 days. 10 days they've done that. God. Whoa, that's a very full one. So they filled all of these frames with honey. That is crazy. Let's try one from the other side. Like, the only issue I have with Laura is that she is a little bit... They're a bit flyy, so they fly to your hand a bit. So they do cling to you a bit, but they don't tend to sting you. Right, let's have a look from the other side. Fully drawn out and full of honey as well. Oh, that was harsh on my back. that was a fair amount of weight on my back then. Right, let's have a look. Come on. Go out the way, guys. Okay, so we've seen that the top box is full to the brim with honey, and that was from 10 days. So these guys probably need a bit more space, judging from that. I might have to go and get the box now. So we've got another fresh super down here. That was on the 18th as well. So see if they've done both boxes in 10 days, which would be absolutely incredible if they have. Watch out. There we go. So all I'm really caring about at the moment is I want to see whether they've drawn these out, and I can see that they have. Wow. And I'm wanting to see some brood. So I want to see eggs, and I'm wanting to see some larvae, and hopefully some cat brood, but it's not necessary. I just want to make sure the larvae is healthy. This is all honey, which is crazy. Right. So these guys might be running out of space. Looks like it, actually. Okay, so I'm going to put another box on, maybe another 2, I'm not sure. 10 days, jeez. So this is a super, but it's above a brood box, so I'm expecting to see some brood in this box. So I can see some eggs, that's good. This is a full frame here of drone brood, look at that. So if I want to get rid of a load of varroa from this hive, all I need to do is just take this frame out, which is what I'm going to do. Take this frame out and I'm going to give that to the birds. There you are. A bit of varroa management for you. Full frames of drones, just take them out. Let's have a look. So we've got some cat brood here. Not a lot of eggs. So sometimes the queen can stop laying during the June gap, but from the amount of nectar and the wax that they've drawn out, it doesn't seem to me that that's the case. So we've got some bald brood here, that's normal, that's just because of varroa. We've got some cat brood, that's good. I wonder if she's off gallivanting in a different box, because there does seem to be some space here for her to lay in, so that's good. And another good thing is that I've not seen any queen cells yet. Right, so I'm going to put another brood box underneath this one, and then I'm going to put another box on top so she fills it with honey. As I said before, there are some big fields over there full of nectar producing flowers, so this colony is probably going to be the best one for producing honey here. The others will produce some, probably get super out of the nuke behind me, but this one will produce the most. So I'm just going to spread these out a bit more. I know I've taken a frame out, but with supers, if you spread them out, they will draw out the cells more to produce the bee space. And in doing so, it means that we can fit more honey into those cells. So I'm just going to go get the other brood box. I'll be right back. There we go. Right, so I'm going to put a fresh brood box underneath this super. So this is the bottom box, so I'm going to get a load of bees flying at me. Just watch yourself. There we go. Right, so this is where the majority of the brood will be. And we're going to start buzzed at. Sorry if you start getting attacked. You're not going to get stung or anything, it's just annoying. They just like to investigate. So the fact that there's not a lot of eggs in here is a bit concerning to me. But I'm hoping it's just because they don't have the space. So I'm going to put this brood box here for them to fill out. I'm going to tell us when we put it on. So we put it on the, I forgot what day it is, 28th of June. So fresh 28/6/26. I'm going to put the date here, 26. Right, super goes on, and then just build it back up again. I'm going to put another super on here. Oh, that's good. Fresh 28/6/26. It's a super, so I don't really care about the year that it's in. Generally, they just get battered to the point where I have to change them within a few years anyway. Oh, let's put this on. Another fresh one. Right, this is the last one that was fresh. Oh, that was very heavy. And then I'm going to put yet another super on at the very top. Might need my step of beekeeping. Oh, right, where did I put that pen then? I'll say this is fresh as well. Hang on, is that that's wrong with orientation? Double checked. Right, perfect. Right, and let's inspect that swarm. See if we've got any disease that we need to deal with. Right, this is the last thing I can do here because I've got to run. What are we on? 10 minutes I've got. Right. So I'm just going to clear the entrance a bit so I can see. And we'll open it up and have a look, see if we can see any disease. If we can, then we'll have to close it up and deal with something. Ugh. Doesn't help that all the bees from Laura are still mugging me. Right, go away. Okay, so that feels like, yeah, so these guys have run out of space. You can see by the comb in the roof. That's not great. We don't want the comb in the roof because that'll make a mess. So we're just going to move that to the side for now. And we'll have a look to see what the disease, if there is any, is like. So one of the reasons why I'm not really a fan of collecting swarms these days, there's a much higher chance of a swarm being introduced with disease, and it can disease everything else. And after that chronic bee paralysis virus, I don't want any more disease going into my colonies. Right, so I'll smoke these down and we'll get rid of this burr comb here. Go on, away you go. So we're wanting to go through all of the brood now for any signs of disease. Oh, that's sticky work. Oops. It was only a small swarm, so I just kept it in the super that it was mainly home in. That is full of nectar though, so there is definitely a good flow here for a small colony to fill that. There's lots of larvae on here. That's good. Looks like there was a queen cell that they have just completely ignored. They've turned it into comb, that's weird. Lots of eggs as well, so there's definitely a laying queen in here, and it's a decent pattern as well. All of this area here is full of eggs, so that's good. Might be a good queen. So the larvae look good. Let's have a quick look together. So if you can see, all of the larvae looks well segmented, C-shaped and pearly white. Got a bit of a yellow tinge because of the sunlight coming through, but if I block it out you can see that they're pearly white. It's all looking really good here. Right, we'll have a look at the next frame. So here we've got some cap brood. Let's have a look at the cappings. The cappings look solid. That's good. There are a few holes in it, but they've got larvae in it, or they've got nectar in it, so it's not too bad. I've got some larvae over here. Let's have a look at them. C-shapes, pearly white, all looking really good actually. I'm really happy with that. An absolute incredible frame of cap brood there. Full frame on both sides, full. In fact, they've even produced more comb so they can make more larvae. Right here. Haven't seen the queen yet. But I'm not really looking for her. I'm just having a look at the bees. The bees all look healthy and good. Yeah, these looks like a good colony. Looks like they need to expand though. They are running out of space. Okay, so I'm happy with these guys so far. I'm going to check every frame. So make sure whenever you're doing a disease inspection, you're checking every single frame. Can't see any signs of disease whatsoever. So these guys are looking really good. Every single frame has larvae on it, or eggs, or capped brood. So this queen is doing a good job of using the space that she's got. But no wonder she's running out there. She is an egg laying machine, this one. Okay. Last frame. Nectar on that side, and on that side. Okay, so I've been through it all. These guys are doing really well. What's letting them down is space, so we can fix that. Give them what they need. Okay, so I'm going to give them a full box of foundation. Right, that's this. So what I need to do now is get rid of all this horrible comb. I say horrible, it's actually quite beautiful if you look at it. But I need to get rid of this comb now. So the way to do that is I need to knock the bees off. So I'm going to knock these bees off. Because I didn't see the queen, remember, so the queen could be up here trying to lay. And then I'm going to knock the bees off out of the roof. Some comb there. Brush the bees off. So fortunately there's no eggs that I can see, it's just honey. Oh, there are eggs here, oh dear. The queen could have been up here, never mind. Well, she's back in the box now anyway because I've shocked everyone down. Have a quick look. Because that is one of the problems with fur comb, is that the queen can hide in it and you don't want to hurt her if you can help it. Right, close these guys up and I've got to go. Right, that is me done for today. This is the last weekly inspection that you guys will see. From now on I'll be doing a monthly inspection and hopefully it'll make a nice streamlined storyline rather than just dipping in every week and just seeing bits and bobs and then having to put it together yourself. Hopefully I can make a nice story for you and stuff. I think we managed quite a bit. Hopefully we've rescued that queen, that introduced queen, with a new nuke, with new bees. Hopefully that will help. I won't know until 2 weeks from now. We'll see. We've managed to transfer a nuke into a full-size hive, which is a skill that every beekeeper needs to know, and you need to master it. So it's one of those skills where it should be like bread and butter. You shouldn't even need to think about it. That's what this skill is, just because you're going to be transferring nukes to full-size hives pretty much every inspection once you get to a certain size. It's just one of those things of, oh, that nuke's ready, let's get it into a full-size hive so it doesn't swarm. It's going to be daunting at first, especially if it's your very first nuke. You're going to be like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. Don't worry about it, just try and focus at the job at hand, take it bit by bit, follow the instructions that I just gave you, and it should go absolutely fine. If you just get your nuke at this time of year in July, the chances of you getting into the nectar flow on time is probably not going to happen. It's going to be pretty low. Unless that colony that you get in the nuke is really prolific and they can fill that hive body super quick, and then the next week they're up in the top box, you might be able to get a super of honey from your first colony. But if I were you, I would focus totally on just getting them to the stage where they're overwintering in, say, like 2 full brood boxes. That's the best way of getting them through winter. They will be solid, they will be really, really good, really, really healthy. And because of the mass of bees in those boxes, they should make it through winter easily, and they should come out in spring and just blow you away. This year has been really strange for weather. It's been freezing cold, peeing it down, or it's been baking hot, and I just can't figure out what's going on, and I think the bees can't either. So my bees are very sensitive to weather, and as you can see, they're a bit, not tetchy, they're not stung me. I've not been stung once this inspection, but they have been flying around me and being a lot more investigative than usual. But it's fine, I don't mind. If your bees are doing the same, this is just normal defensive behaviour. So if you see they're going into my veil and stuff, they're not stinging me, but they're just flying around my face. Don't worry about it, it's just investigative behaviour. It's a bit defensive, but it is not aggressive. Aggressive is when they follow you down the path and sting you still, okay? So don't worry about that. Right, I'm going to call it quits there. I hope you have a really good day. Thank you so much for watching these videos. It means the absolute world to me. If you could hit a like button, that'd be great. If you could hit the subscribe button, if you're really interested, that's awesome. If you have any questions whatsoever, throw them in the comments. I'll do whatever I can to answer them, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye-bye.